Today we're going to be making a driving simulator in Scratch. So let's get started. First, you can see I have one sprite here. It's the car, and I just have this image of a car here. And as you can see, it's way too big. So let's go to when clicked, and then let's set the size to 30% when we're starting out. We'll also want to center this, so go to X0, Y0. And then when we're starting off, we also want to point in the direction 90, so this direction. So let's just try it out here. As you can see, that looks much better. Next, for this project, we will need two new variables, and you can just delete the my variable. And the first one is going to be called turn, and the second one is going to be called velocity, just like that. And when we start off, we can set both turn and velocity to 0. Now for the function of our game, of course, we need a forever loop to run everything in. And now we need to change the turn and velocity of this car we have. So we're going to have 4 different directions. So we're going to have left, right, up, and down. So we're going to need a custom variable to hold all of that. So let's name this one drive, and then first we'll have the key, and then we'll add an input key. Then we will have the turn, add an input turn. Then we have the velocity, and we're going to add the input velocity. And for this, we don't need to run without screen refresh like usual. And now we can get started with the code. So first, we're going to need an if then. So we're going to detect the key that's being pressed. But you can't just say if key is being pressed. That one works. You can do that, but look at what happens. So we have to actually write down up arrow. So what's easier is if we just write up, down, right, and left. So we're going to do a join the key with the arrow. But you can't write arrow here because then there won't be any space between them. So we need another join. And then here, just leave a space like that. So you're going to actually put a space down. And then here you're going to put arrow, just like that. And this is actually going to work. So then we'll do a change turn by and a change velocity by. So the changing the velocity is actually super easy. You just need to do velocity times something like 0.1, but you can change these numbers a bit if you want. I just found these numbers to work the best. Now for the turn, it gets a bit more complicated. So we're going to actually do change turn times, I'm going to do 0.75. So 3/4. But the turn of the car is also going to be dependent on the velocity of the car. So we're going to do all this times the velocity times a really low number like 0.3, just like this. And let's put this in here. Now, if we run the code and I click on the arrows, I see nothing happens because I actually didn't do anything yet. So this function isn't running in the forever loop. So let's put 4 drives in here. So drive, 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 drive. So the first one is going to be called left, then right, then up, and finally down. So here you're just going to put -1. So as you can see, we're going to turn to the left. So -1 times 0.75. So it's going to be a negative number. And then we can also see if the velocity is 0, then we won't turn at all, which is pretty realistic. Then we put a 1, and the up and down, it won't affect the direction. So we're going to put a 0 for both. So basically this is going to be 0. We're not going to be changing the turn. And now onto the velocity. So we're going to put 1 here, -1 here. And then, so it's going to change a bit slightly. Like it's not going to change that much. But when we're going up and down, that's actually going to have a huge change. So we're going to do 7 and then -7. Now these numbers might seem a bit strange, but this is what I found to work the best. And let's run again and click the arrows. And the turn and everything is changing by a lot, but nothing is actually happening. So first of all, we can see this number is huge, and that is definitely not what we want. So let's minimize this. We're going to do a set turn to and a set velocity to, and we're going to do set turn to turn and then to velocity. So we're going to do set turn to turn times 0.8. So basically it's going to be like a realistic slowing down effect. And then also velocity times 0.9 actually. So the numbers are a bit different, so let's try this out now. As you can see, the numbers are drastically lower and a bit more realistic. But as you might have noticed, the car is still not moving. Well, this is actually because we haven't told anything to move yet. We're just changing variables. So we're going to have to go here. We're going to say turn degrees. And then we're also going to do move velocity steps. Let's clean it up again. Only 36 blocks right now. So as you can see, that is looking pretty good, but when we deaccelerate, we can see it takes a really long time to get to 0. So we want to do something about that. and it's actually a super quick change. So in between these two, we're gonna just take this out for a while. We're gonna put if then, and we're just gonna check if the velocity is between two numbers, and if it is, we're gonna set the velocity to 0. So we can just set the velocity to 0 here and bring out two velocities, and we're gonna of course use the operators and we're gonna compare them. So we're gonna do an AND. So if the velocity is bigger than minus 0.4 and smaller than 0.4, just like that, then we're going to set the velocity to 0. So it's going to check if our velocity number or variable is between these two numbers, and if it is, it's going to set the velocity to 0. So it's going to be super quick. So let's see what happens now. We can do full screen, and we can also hide these two variables. And there we have it, a fully functioning driving simulator. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And if you want to see how to make this look cooler, then check out this particle video.